Okay, the last day of 2016. So I've just been for a bike ride, about 2.5 hours on the mountain bike, just along the Yarra trails, and really enjoyable morning. Getting out for what was be my last ride for 2016. Yeah, it's been a really interesting year. Lots of things happened this year. It's gone really fast, and learned quite a lot of things as well. So that's always a positive thing. So the had the started up my YouTube channel and the Instagram account. What was it, about 6 weeks ago or something like that. Having Cycling Maven, through Mark and Shane Miller, come in and do videos sort of earlier in the year, sort of really opened my eyes to some of this stuff, and it's been really enjoyable and really interesting. So I hope to bring much more stuff in 2017. So this year gone by has sort of been I suppose one of the turning points for me was earlier in the year, sort of middle of, it was around August. I had a heavy crash on the mountain bike at the Yuyangs, where I got a set of double jumps wrong and landed really heavily and broke some ribs and then subsequently got pneumonia and so was out of action for quite a number of weeks, and it really made me appreciate the time that you can have on the bike, and when that's taken away from you, from injury, it really hits you. How enjoyable just getting out on the bike and that freedom of rolling around and having fun on the bike, and pretending you're a little kid still, So, and that's what basically how I caused my crash. I was still, pretending I was a little kid, but you don't. When you're almost 50, you don't bounce like when you're 20, So, but fortunately for me, I've never had an equipment failure cause me a crash, and and that's one of my goals in what I'm doing with scanning and sort of educating the market on this stuff is, that's my goal. So let's have zero equipment failures causing crashes to you guys, and taking that enjoyment of riding away. So let's really strive for that in 2017. So just sort of on that, one of the things, sort of earlier in the year, there was an article on one of the carbon repairers on a online magazine, and they were saying, bikes are not planes. You don't need to do that same level of inspection and quality and all that sort of stuff. And I strongly disagree with that. The materials are very, very similar in the bike industry as what's being used in aircraft. The processes, the way those materials are being processed is similar, but then the quality control aspect is lacking a little bit. So, but to say something like, oh well, a bike isn't a plane, because when a plane has a failure, hundreds of people get killed, and that's really bad, and it is really bad, and that's why in the aerospace industry we do as much as we can to avoid those failures. But if you crash on your bike due to an equipment failure, like if your front fork fails, you could be killed, and that's really bad for you and your family. So if you can knowingly avoid that situation, why wouldn't you? That's sort of just seems obvious to me. If the technology is available to avoid these sorts of failures, why would you risk that? It's like if an airline started offering flights around the country or the world or whatever, and they're only 30% of the airfare, but you go on an unknown aircraft. So it's not a Boeing or an Airbus which has had all this approvals. It's just a no-name airline, and you know, would you get on that plane? I certainly wouldn't. You know, so you know, why would you take those risks and you know, risk then the enjoyment of your cycling? So anyway, that's sort of enough on that. We'll, you know, let's go forward for 2017, and you know, I mean, I've been saying this for a while. You just got to bear with me. I've got some amazing content that I want to bring to the channel. You know, I've just got to fit it in with everything else I'm doing in my life, with my family and my business, and also getting out riding. You know, so I certainly want to keep getting out riding. That's sort of one of the most important things for me as well. So so yeah, you know, bear with me on that. I am going to bring you some really interesting stuff. You know, there were some comments on the flaws and damage series, you know, saying, oh, it's you know, you're not telling us what bike it is and it's not really relevant. But you know, the point of those videos is to show you what those defects look like. So then when I do section up and review a bike, then you know, and I say, oh, this is resin ridge, this is a void, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's sort of you know, it's crawling before you can walk. So you know, I don't want to assume that you know all this stuff, so I'll give you an introduction on each of these things, and you know, and bring that to you as I can. So but yeah, so next year got some great bikes in the pipeline to cut up, and yeah, so we'll be back on deck on the 30th of January, and yeah, we'll start bringing you some stuff, more technical stuff then. So over these next few weeks, I'll see if I can have a little update here and there on the channel. I'll see how reception goes. We're going out up in the mountains and the beach and stuff, camping for a number of weeks with the family, so you know, may not have reception, so we'll see how we go. But you know, wishing everybody a fantastic new year, and you know, safe and prosperous 2017. So thanks for everybody supporting me to this point, and you know, really hope that we can you know, get bigger and better in 2017, and really grow the channel, and push, you know, for some more safety in this industry. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great new year. Bye.